We're always trying to predict the future. It's one of the biggest challenges we face. But what if I told you that the key to building smarter AI that can actually predict things accurately, isn't hidden in complex code, but in the flight of a bird, or even the way a species evolves? Today, we're going to dig into this incredible idea, that nature might have already solved some of AI's absolute toughest problems.
Now, this might sound like some kind of riddle, right? But the connection is actually way more direct than you'd think. A swarm of bees looking for the best patch of flowers, and an AI trying to find the single best answer to a really complex question, well, they're both doing the exact same thing. They're navigating this massive, massive space of possibilities, all to find that one perfect spot.
Because really, when you strip everything else away, that's what prediction is. It's just a search for the one right answer in an absolute ocean of wrong ones. And let me tell you, when it comes to the art of the search, nature is the undisputed, hands-down world champion.
Okay, so let's get into it. To really understand why looking to nature is such a game changer, we first have to appreciate the huge challenge that AI models are up against every single day.
Every single AI model has countless little knobs and dials, or parameters, that need to be tuned just right. And that tuning process, it's called optimization. I want you to imagine you're standing in a massive, foggy mountain range. Your one and only job is to find the absolute lowest point in the entire range. That deepest valley, that's what we call the global optimum. It's the perfect set of settings for your AI.
But here's the catch with the traditional ways we train AI. One of the most common methods, it's called backpropagation. Well, it acts like a lone hiker who can only ever walk downhill. Now, this hiker will definitely find a valley, for sure. But more often than not, it's just a small dip in the landscape, a local optimum. They get stuck there, thinking they found the bottom, with no way of knowing that a much deeper canyon, a way better solution, is just over the next ridge.
And this is where things get really cool. This is where nature comes in. Instead of sending one single lonely hiker into that fog, what if we could send in a smart, collaborative search party? Well, that's exactly what researchers are doing. They call them Nature-Inspired Optimization Algorithms, or NIOAs for short. And the difference between them? Oh, it's night and day. That lone hiker, yeah, they're fast, but they're easily tricked by the first little valley they stumble into. The search party, on the other hand, it spreads out. They explore tons of different paths all at the same time, and this is the secret sauce, they talk to each other. They communicate, helping the whole group zero in on the most promising areas to find that one true deepest valley, the global optimum. So these search parties use a couple of brilliant strategies, basically copied straight from nature's playbook. First up, you've got genetic algorithms. These mimic evolution, survival of the fittest. The best solutions get to reproduce, combining their best features to create an even better next generation, with a few random changes thrown in to keep things interesting. Then you've got swarm intelligence, which is exactly like a flock of birds or a swarm of bees. Each individual searches on its own, but they're constantly sharing what they find, guiding the whole group toward the best spot.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? Problem solved? Well, not so fast. There's a twist. As our AI models have gotten ridiculously powerful, I'm talking about the deep neural networks behind almost all modern tech, this whole search problem has gotten exponentially harder.
This is where the sheer scale of the problem just explodes. With older, simpler AI, optimizing was like searching that single mountain range we talked about. But for today's deep networks, forget a mountain range. It's like being asked to search the entire surface of planet Earth. The number of individual settings, the trainable parameters, is just too massive to check one by one. So instead, the search party has to change its strategy. It has to focus on optimizing the hyperparameters, not the individual footsteps, but the high-level map that guides the whole expedition.
And yet, even with this completely insane challenge, these nature-inspired methods are winning. This quote from the research paper says it all. It's pretty direct. What it's saying is that even when these algorithms are just optimizing the map and not every single footstep, they consistently blow the old methods out of the water.
So, that leads to the next big question for researchers. How can we make our planet-sized search parties even smarter, even faster, and even more efficient? Well, they've come up with some incredibly clever solutions.
You can think of these like major upgrades for our search party. Hybridization is like pairing a super-fast scout with a slow, meticulous surveyor. The scout finds promising areas, and the surveyor maps them perfectly. Then there are adaptive mechanisms, which let the team change its search strategy on the fly.
spricking across flat plains and then moving slowly and carefully when the terrain gets rocky. And neuroevolution, this one is wild. It doesn't just tune the AI's settings, it actually evolves the structure of the AI itself while it searches.
Now, these upgrades are all powerful on their own, but the researchers behind this paper propose something even more ambitious, a brand new way of thinking about the problem that could tie all of this together into one super elegant system.
And the core idea is so simple, it's profound. To solve a problem the size of a planet, you don't just start walking. No way! You start by creating a simplified, low-resolution map of the entire world.
So here's how their 5-step process works. First, the system creates a blurry, kinda low-res map of the entire problem. Then, a super-fast genetic algorithm zips around this map and finds the most promising continents. Third, it passes that information down to a very precise swarm intelligence team. Fourth, that team goes and explores only those promising continents, but in the super detailed, high-resolution real world. And finally, and this is the genius part, whatever that team finds gets sent back to update and improve the original map. It creates this powerful learning loop that just gets smarter and smarter every single time it runs. And that right there is the key takeaway. This clever back and forth between the big picture, low-res view and the focused, high-res search, it makes a problem that seemed impossibly huge totally manageable. It's a strategy for finally being able to see both the forest and the trees.
Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to end on. We started this journey by asking how a flock of birds finds food, and we ended up with a potential blueprint for building the next generation of AI. It just goes to show you that some of the greatest solutions to our most complex futuristic problems might just be hiding in plain sight, in the elegant, time-tested code of the natural world.